next we have the definition of absolute value. Now, what absolute value is talking about a distance for how far you are away from zero. So if you think of a number line like this, okay, this is zero. So 1, 2, 3, 4 that way. And you have -1, -2, -3, for instance, going this way. We're seeing how far we are away from something. So let's take 2, for instance. The distance from here to here would be 2. Now let's say we're at -3, how far we are away from zero. Well, from -3 back to 0, that's a distance of 3. So notice that the distance is always positive regardless of if you have a negative or a positive. Now this distance away from the 0, that's called absolute value. So basically the symbol we use is these two little vertical lines around whatever it is, the number or the variable. And what we know that this is going to be greater than or equal to 0 for all numbers. So like the absolute value of 7, well, that's just equal to 7. And then if it's -19, whatever you have inside, it's just going to be that number without the minus sign. So this is just going to simply be 19. 0, well, that's going to be 0. If you're at the 0 line already, that means you're a distance of 0 away from itself. So that means why the absolute value of 0 is 0. So notice that no matter what, you're going to get a number that's always going to be either positive or 0. And that's exactly what this says here. The absolute value of n is greater than or equal to 0 for all numbers. It doesn't matter if it's negative or positive. You're always going to get a positive number always, unless it's 0. And if it's 0, then you will get 0 for the answer. And that's how you will do absolute value.